Let's talk about projects for a few minutes. Projects are a way to both organize your prompts inside AI, but also to create a custom bucket, a custom folder, so that you can save all the context from that project, all the files, all the instructions, all the history in one place, so you can return to it easily and save it for later. Lots of use cases for this kind of thing: research projects, ongoing long term projects, hiring someone, performance reviews, taxes. It's really limitless. I use these when I teach an AI session because I wanted to have the history of all my preparation for other sessions. So it's a really good way to pop back into that and not give a whole new prompt for every session, but to start from where I left off. You want to think of how projects work with skills in Claude, in the sense that projects are more vertical and skills are more be horizontal, in the sense that you'd have a project for, let's just say you're hiring someone. Every time you hire someone, you maybe create a Claude project. Then you have a skill that writes your job descriptions. So every time you have a project for a new job, you call on the skill to write the job description. So that skill works across different projects, but the project is for one role. That's one example. Obviously, again, there are so many examples. And ChatGPT uses projects. In the left bar, you'll see the projects. Here's a few examples of ones that I use. As I mentioned, my AI session prep, but also lots of other use cases. You can create new projects from there, and we'll do this in a second in Claude. And so let's look at one in here. So here I am. So they're in chat and in cowork in Claude. You'll see them in both places. They'll have some different features because of how they work. So in chat, it will not have as much capability as in cowork, but it's still very powerful. Generally, I'm doing more of my work in cowork these days, so I start with that because you can attach it to a local folder on your system. You can set up scheduled tasks, so it is more powerful. So here I am in cowork. Here's a few projects I have. Something to help me with my taxes, a medical healthcare project, and a personal shopper project. Let's look at the personal shopper one in this case. So here's one that's built. We can also, if I were in projects, I could create a new one. I could start from scratch. I could import one or use an existing folder on my computer. Those are all places to start with. Once you do get through, though, you'll end up with something like this one I was just showing you a second ago. It's showing up here also because it's pinned. You can see here in this menu, you can pin or unpin things. So creating a project, fairly straightforward. You'll fill out a form, but you'll do things like having instructions. In this case, it just says, you're my shopping assistant. Get more detailed. This is a quick one I created that I've been playing with. You can, as I mentioned, have scheduled tasks. So every day at a certain time or week, it does something for you. It uses your computer to do something. It does some kind of research. It updates this project with other data. So that's a nice feature, and we'll have a separate video on scheduled tasks also. You can also give it context. So you can give it an attachment to a folder on your computer, or a folder in Google Drive, or even a link somewhere are good things to do. And you can give it files directly. So it can be nice to attach it to a folder on your computer because then you can move files in and out. But if you know you want certain files in its memory, you can also give it things there also. So these are things it will remember, where it's adding it to itself, basically. So these, you can more control the files there. While in the memory, you'll tell it to remember something or not remember something, and it will put that in there. Pant sizing, in this case, kind of a funny one, but it's powerful, right? That it has a memory and can remember things to the point of why to use projects. You want to go back to a place where it remembers where you were. It's remembering for you all the stuff you've done already, so you're not starting from scratch every time you do something. So you can see how nice and neat this can be. So we can organize your prompts. Here's 3 different chats I've had, 3 different prompts I've had, or 2 different, where I've saved them here. And here is a third one I could create, and it would then save here also. And then again, I have my title and my description. I have my instructions, my scheduled tasks, my context, my memory. So it's a nice little neat package for repetitive tasks to have AI restart where you were. So instead of starting all over every time, it's all organized here. So it's a nice, neat way to do things like this. So try it out, just jump in. That's the way to learn AI, is just jumping and doing these things and see how it goes. And like I said, keep in mind how a project compares to a skill or some of the other features in these tools.